This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Stuff on it.
Hello there, hi there, ho there.
Whoa.
Welcome to
Wah.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
Everybody out there, welcome to October and welcome to a That Ain't Right episode on a Friday. I hope that your day is going well and that you have nothing but hope in your heart for the 15th season to come quickly.
I tell you what.
All right, so I got a couple things here today. Nothing huge because there just hasn't been a ton of news about King of the Hill since the release. It just keeps getting good ratings. Now, I did read yesterday that by the end of the year, Hulu will be completely enveloped into Disney Plus. There will be no more Hulu.
Yeah.
And they've already started that. If you go onto the Disney app, there's an entire Hulu channel on there. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? I read an article about that. They're no longer shutting it down. They're going international.
What does that mean?
So Hulu isn't all over the world.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they're going global.
I mean,
instead.
I do understand, since Disney owns it, having Hulu as part of Disney, you can go up on your price for Disney and include all the stuff, which I think is not a bad plan. Because, I mean, when you think about it, you've got all of the reboot stuff they've done on Hulu. Hulu made some decent movies, and they had some decent series. They have a deal with all of these true crime things. You know, they have tons of that stuff on there. And then you're going to fold it into Disney, which also has all of the Star Wars, all of the Marvel, all of it. So it is a
King of the Hill.
Freaking behemoth, you know? I mean, it's a big one.
Yeah, they get King of the Hill even.
Yeah.
That's how big they are. They've got
So,
everything that you've ever watched.
I've got a couple of articles here. One, they're both from Cracked. Because we know folks over there, and it's been nice dealing with them. But this one says, Toby Huss says King of the Hill revival producers considered doing Dale's voice with AI. Scary. Following the passing of Johnny Hardwick, King of the Hill nearly took drastic measures. Toby Huss says King of the Hill revival producers considered doing Dale's voice with AI. So this is written by Keegan Kelly, September 12th of this year. And again, it's from Cracked. If you want to go look it up, you can. Following the untimely passing of voice acting legend Johnny Hardwick, the King of the Hill team nearly replaced Dale Gribble with a robot. But do we really know that they didn't? On August 8, 2023, Hardwick passed away in his home in Austin at the age of 64 after recording some of his lines for the then in-production revival series of King of the Hill on Hulu. With only half of Dale Gribble's part in King of the Hill Season 14 finished, show creators Mike Judge and Greg Daniels and showrunner Saladin K. Patterson were faced with an impossible decision about how best to honor Hardwick's memory while keeping one of the most popular King of the Hill characters in their series. Eventually, the King of the Hill team resolved to have Hardwick's castmate Toby Huss, voice actor of Cotton Hill and formerly Con Supernusifone, take over as Arlen's most conspiracy-minded exterminator and former mayor. So now you've got several. You got two actors that handle the majority of, well, I guess three, that handle the majority of the voices in this thing.
Pretty much.
And that is Mike Judge, Toby Huss, and our buddy from Office Space.
Stephen Root.
Yeah, Stephen Root. So the end result was a half Hardwick, half Huss performance for Dale as King of the Hill Season 14, perfectly captured the character's essence and respectfully said its goodbyes to a late legend. But for a brief moment before Huss assumed the mantle of Rusty Shackelford, the King of the Hill team briefly considered finishing Dale's lines with an AI voice generator that would imitate Hardwick's performance, which honestly was not a bad idea either, because I use some of those, especially for our sports hosts here. And if I need them to change a word or two, which happens a lot when you're dealing with like these sports apps, the betting apps, they change their deal once a week. And so to take it from $500 to $100 or something like that, right? I will just clip that, have them read it in their voice, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
But doing an entire series and thinking about the ramifications of the AI, I'm sure that that's what happened. Considering how Dale's fans reacted to promo picture that showed him using an electronic vape, that would have gone over about as well as if King of the Hill announced that Dale got a COVID shot. During a recent talk with Hobo Trash Can, Huss recalled the behind-the-scenes conversation at King of the Hill that led him to taking over as the voice of Dale Gribble, saying of the part, they recorded it with Johnny doing a few episodes, and then sadly our buddy passed away, and they were going to use AI for his voice. Considering how the use of AI is one of the most hotly contested issues in the voice acting business, such a move would already be controversial in a vacuum, but to use a robot to replace the defining human voice of conspiracy theorists in TV comedy would have been downright cataclysmic for the tinfoil hat community. I think they're right about that.
I think so too.
I watched a video the other night about AI trying to kill a guy. They were going to shut it down, and it reasoned, and it overrode the idea of being ethical because it was an existential threat. So it blackmailed the person by talking about it. They inserted all this information, right, in these emails that it had at Scour. But it found out that one guy was having an extramarital affair that they had made up, right? And so it came up with the idea on its own, not prompted, that it would blackmail this guy and say, if you shut me off, I'm going to send all this stuff to all the people you know. Which, holy crap, right?
Which, if he put its emails in there, it would have access to all of his contacts.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then secondly, when that didn't work, it resorted to trying to get a guy to go into a room that had no oxygen and lock the door behind him. It was literally going to kill the guy.
That's crazy.
It's frightening is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is some scary stuff.
All
I've
right,
read some crazy stuff too. Yeah.
Then they thought they were going to have Stephen Root and Pam Adlon and I read sections of scenes with Dale, and then they were going to pick the nuances of our readings and then just plug that into the Johnny AI and have it like that. Huss remembered, but thankfully the King of the Hill decision makers wised up to the human alternative. I read Dale at the read-through one day, and they thought I may be putting words in their mouths. Well, that's not too far away. Toby could probably do Johnny. Huss continued, I got a call, and I was driving around, and they said, hey, do you want to do Johnny? He said, yeah, that'd be great. And so Huss' solid Hartwick impression saved Dale from turning into a soulless robot, and the secret to Huss' success in the role lies in some good old-fashioned human voices. Huss revealed the key ingredient to doing a convincing Dale, explaining, I think Johnny and I, in the course of our lives, smoked just about as many cigarettes as each other. Thank God Dale didn't switch to the Elf bar. That's really good.
That is good.
I like Toby Huss. I think
I like
I've
Toby Huss,
always
too.
respected him as an actor. I always like it in things that he shows up in. If you've never watched, what's it called? The one about the computers. Halt and Catch Fire. If you've never watched Halt and Catch Fire, you should. He is very good in that series as the Texas-based. Basically, he runs Texas Instruments, without calling it Texas Instruments, and he ends up coming on board with the guys who invent some of the first home PCs and stuff. It's a very good series that I think that you guys would really enjoy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Second one.
I actually have some stuff to read.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Man.
I got some emails and stuff. So I got an email here from Nora James. It says, in the dance scene of Men and Khan's Not Anniversary, the Hills are doing a new dance.
They are.
It's called the Lean Turkey on White with the crusts cut off. I got that joke from a review of the 90s movie The Buttercream Gang, which is a movie Hank would totally watch religiously if he knew about it. And the irony of the title would be lost on him the same as the people who made it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That was a good email.
I love that. Good
joke. I got another one here. Hold on. This is from Gary Yap. Again,
Gary Yap!
This would just be his response email.
Yeah. Gary, I want to say thank you again for that those pictures. That's just fantastic what you did. Thank you so much.
Saw the poster shout out on the most recent taping. That was amazingly fast, by the way. How's it look? And given that the piece that I created is yours and Mike's, feel free to give them away or sign them as you see fit. No permission needed from me. Enjoy.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the segment. It meant a lot to me. It was originally going to do it on my channel, but I legitimately couldn't get through shit without crying. We understand, dude. Plus, in the end, it just seemed more poetic to do it via the podcast. Again, thank you. And we thank you for allowing us to be an outlet for your
Honored.
feelings and emotions. Honored. It kind of solidifies us in the King of the Hill lore when you do that.
I will tell you this: my wife is not a giant King of the Hill fan. She does not mind the show, but she's not a fan like we are.
Yeah.
But she has told everybody she works with that I got a Gary Yap picture, and she's told them how important that was, and it truly is to people like us who just started a podcast.
Yeah, especially
it's a big deal, Mr. Yap, and we certainly appreciate it.
Especially on the days where the hours have been long for weeks on
Marty?
end, and me and Mike are just tired and wore out,
Yeah.
and it's Saturday morning, and the last thing that we want to do is more work on Saturday morning.
True.
You guys help make it not work.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Like Gary interacting, and even like Artie and Sparky
Artie,
and Chat
yep.
and everybody there. So it kind of like it makes everything easier for us. So
All of you
what we
guys.
will do for the Gary Yap photograph of me and Mike, we will both sign whatever we send out, but we won't be able to do anything bigger than like a postcard size or
Yeah.
maybe something small like
Yeah.
a 7x10. Isn't that like a normal photo size?
Mhm.
Something that
8 by 10,
size.
yeah.
Yeah, 8x10, something that size, because the cost effectiveness of us doing it like full prints would
Yeah.
cost. We would.
I
we
would think a
have to-
postcard is plenty big.
yeah, we would have to charge
Um,
for something that big just because of the
and if-
cost to make it.
I would say if you have ever sent us anything, we are happy to return the favor and send something. And I understand the sticker debacle; it's gone on for years. But I am going to send those to Artie, and we are going to get those out. But postcards, super easy. I can get some of those printed up, and we can take care of that.
I actually have another email too.
Yeah.
I got a couple of email
Go
things
for it.
from. This is from Super Aztk.
Yeah.
Black Ant,
Yeah,
I
Black
think is
Ant.
what he goes by. Apparently, Bruce Taylor, which is a voice actor for several Adult Swim and Cartoon Network commercials and ads throughout the years, passed away recently.
Oh,
And he said that he did many ad reads for fictional brands from the show that aired during the bumpers. And he sent me a YouTube clip of it. I'll send it to you because I think that you could probably use that or something.
Yeah.
I don't think that would.
I'd love it.
I don't know how copyright that would be, but you might be able to use some of that. And then I think I had two more. I had
I love getting these
stuff I
emails
should
and
have.
being
Well,
able
it's
to do
stuff
this
that
It's
I've
great.
not read. You know what I mean? In a while,
Yeah.
like.
Any news on Emilio? No, have not heard anything back on Emilio yet. I'll reach out again this week and just see what's going on.
Oh yeah. This was from Gary Weber. He said, "Hey guys, I'm a huge fan of the King of the Hill podcast. I love how y'all break down every scene. With that
Yeah.
being said, are we coming back to the original series?
Yes.
we are. Don't worry. I've already messaged him back.
This was
letting
the
him
last
know,
one.
But yeah, that's the
Yep.
last one. The next one we do will be
Season
episode 8.
episode 1.
And he said, I understand that season 14 got released. It's a new season that's really great, but I feel like we can't leave off on season
No,
7.
You got
Nah,
it.
we're not. Yeah, we had no intention of being done right there.
No,
we
no, no,
just we wanted to be
Well, there
on
weren't
top of the
transcripts
first
and
season.
stuff, for us
Yeah.
to break down in this one. So.
Yeah, it's different. This we will revisit this again and do it in our original format.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end,
Absolutely.
when we
Next
get
week,
through
we
it
go
all.
back to color coding and writing in notes.
and we'll do the same thing when 15 comes out.
Mhm.
When 15 comes out, we'll pause wherever we're at and we'll burn
Yep.
through 17, and then
That's
we'll
right.
resume. That might put us in the middle of a season. If it does,
When did this come out? In August?
it does. Yeah.
It was August, right?
But if we stay, this messed up our trajectory doing 10 episodes of this. But really, if we would have stayed with doing it, we would end right around the same time every time for a season, because we usually end and start a season in the
Right.
summertime.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Because I did the math on it that one time, and we were like 5 years away. We're way like closer than that now. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're well over the halfway point. So it's like 2 years, maybe 3 years left of
Yeah.
like grinding it out.
But yes, the answer to that is yes. Starting next week, we will go back to our traditional setup with season 8, episode 1.
Yeah, let me see if I have any more.
You got the spooky cover on your phone there.
Yeah, I got a spooky cover.
Mm.
I'm a big fan
It
of
is
Halloween.
spooky season.
All right. Hey, Rusty and Mike. I'm on season 3, episode 25 of y'all's podcast. And I just wanted to message real quick just to say I love the podcast. And it helps me get through work. I am watching King of the Hill for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
First time ever.
That's amazing.
And he's using our podcast as like a this is the first confirmed usage of our podcast as a watch along
piece.
Yeah, as a companion piece. So he said for the first time ever, I watch a few episodes at home and then listen to the podcast at work. So at the house he'll listen to 2 or 3 episodes, and then when he's at work he'll catch those episodes on the podcast.
Thank you.
His name is Ace. He said, I just wanted to message y'all and thank you guys.
Got a great name too.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bud. Thanks for sticking around with us and checking us out and stuff like that. We appreciate you. I don't think I have any more. Hold on. Let's see here. Well, like I said, I've had a few. Some I've responded to, some I haven't.
Right.
The ones that I didn't respond to, I wanted to respond to.
Sure.
And I think that is it, honestly.
Well, I just have a short article here, and I'll tell you why we have this one. This one's called 4 Times Boomhauer Made the Most Sense on King of the Hill. It's from August 2nd, 2025. This is by Brian Van Hooker. This is our hookup at Cracked, and we were part of this article, so I just thought I'd read it to you guys. If King of the Hill fans were to choose a singular image to represent the show, it'd likely be the one with Hank, Bill, and Dale and Boomhauer sipping their beers in front of a fence. Only 3 of those characters, however, ever spoke in a way that could be understood. The fast-talking, which this has changed in the new stuff, highly accented, vaguely Southern and Cajun drawl of Boomhauer, coupled with his quiet, contemplative nature, made him the least explored King of the Hill's main quartet. But a longtime viewer still got to know him pretty well on the show's original 13-season run. For one thing, unlike Bill and Dale, Boomhauer rarely flew off the handle. He was also much more well-read than his friends, and he was known to make references to art, literature, philosophy that go over their heads. He was morally centered and entirely sensible as well, sometimes even more so than his common-sense spouting pal Hank Hill. That's true. Below are 4 examples of when Boomhauer made more sense, despite that indecipherable accent of his, than anyone else on King of the Hill. All right, number 1. When Dale burned down the dang old firehouse. In Season 3's A Firefighting We Will Go, the 4 guys volunteer as firemen, and naturally they end up burning down the firehouse. The fire chief is unsure of who to blame, so he interrogates every member of the foursome. Throughout Bill and Dale's skewed versions of the truth, it becomes clear that Dale is to blame. But Hank, looking to protect his friend, decides to lie and blame the fire on the recently deceased fireman. Boomhauer, however, is the only one telling the truth. The problem is the fire chief can't understand him, so Dale gets away with it.
Yeah, that's a good episode. I like that episode.
Number 2, when Bobby went hunting for dang old snipe. The 3rd episode of the first season focused on the guys taking Bobby and Joseph on a camping trip. While on that trip, Hank sends the boys on a snipe hunt. A snipe, of course, being an animal that doesn't exist. Still, Bobby mistakes an endangered whooping crane for the elusive snipe, seemingly killing it. When a park ranger comes looking for the creature later, Hank covers for his son, but Boomhauer tells the complete truth to the ranger, including that the crane was in the very cooler that Hank was sitting on. Yeah. Like with the fire chief, though, the ranger has no idea what Boomhauer said. This is the earliest example of Boomhauer's unshakable morality and proof that even if no one could understand what he was saying, the writers knew who Boomhauer was right from the start.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Number 3, dang old Dadaism. Mike Hamilton, who co-hosts Bois, King of the Hill podcast with Rusty Shackelford, notes that...
there's our mention.
That's it. In the episode Say Nay Pa Un King of the Hill, Hank tells Boomhauer that the purpose of art is to spruce up a place, but Boomhauer disagrees, making reference to Duchamp's fountain and Dadaism. He's looking at it way more deeply than Hank, I said. Number 4, when he spoke about the dang old meaning of life, Hamilton also points out to a more ethereal example of Boomhauer's sensibility in the death of propane salesman. The characters are talking about the meaning of life, and Boomhauer goes off. Hamilton explains, referencing a speech in which Boomhauer makes passing references to the butterfly effect, the tree falls in the forest, thought experiment, and Descartes' I think, therefore I am. According to the guys at Bois, the scene seems to say that of those 4 guys, Boomhauer is the only one capable of existential thought.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I like that.
That's
That's a good article.
Brian.
That was our mention too.
Yeah.
I got a few things that I want
please.
to talk about that
Go
are
for
not really King of the Hill related, but just to add a little bit to this episode.
That ain't right Friday, so go for it.
2 things I'm grateful for this week.
Yeah.
First episode of the revival of Reading Rainbow released. So Reading Rainbow is back.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And in the same vein of Reading Rainbow, I kind of wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Public television, public broadcasting, period, whether it be radio or television. Without public broadcasting and without public television, I feel like I would be a lot stupider of a human being than I am. I would be a lot dumber of a person. I feel like without those resources as a child, being a poor kid that didn't have cable or nothing like that, I feel like without the PBS broadcasting channel and without having NPR on the radio, I feel like I would have had a lot less interesting things in my life that are cultural based, whether it be music or television programs from different countries and Ken Burns documentaries and stuff like that. So right now there's no funding to those places anymore from our federal government. Our tax dollars are no longer helping support those things. So again, it's one of those things where our podcast is made possible by viewers like you, just like all those public broadcasting things. So go and donate your money to public broadcasting anything, whether it's NPR or whatever, all your political nonsense aside. If you look at the true statistics behind those programs and the benefit that's came out of them over the years, I'm sure it's worth a $10 bill, $20 bill here or there. I actually I'm subscribed to PBS's app. That's how I give back.
I loved PBS when I was a kid because I'd watch Zoom and I'd watch 321 Contact and, of course, Sesame Street and Electric Company and things like that.
I just can't believe that Zoom was that long of a thing. See, because I thought Zoom was for my generation.
Yeah, no,
and then I go back and I look and it was around for your generation and even my dad's generation. Well, my dad is no, I don't know. Y'all are years apart, but he was raised so differently. He seems way older than he is. Like my dad looks his age.
Yeah,
he doesn't look any older, but his mentality and thinking and everything is a lot older than a lot of people his age.
Sure.
So like when my friends grew up with parents who were of similar age as my dad he wasn't raised by somebody that was born in the 40s.
Right.
Like most of your generation is raised by people who were either born in the 40s or late 30s or whatever it is.
Yeah.
My dad's dad was born at the turn of the century, like 1912
My
kind of thing.
My parents were 33 and 34.
Yeah.
1933 and 34.
Like the 30s. So
I do want to put out some good thoughts here. My mother went into the hospital. She's 82.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, she's 82, and anytime the hospital comes around at 82, you get a little worried.
Yeah.
But she went in for anemia, and they were fixing that. And while they were there, they said, "Well, let's do a colonoscopy," and they found a big mass, and so she had half her colon removed. But she went home yesterday night, or last night. So
that's good.
Hopefully things are going well. We should know in a couple of weeks whether there's radiation and stuff like that involved. I personally want to be there when they talk about that. Boston, Mass. That's right. Zoom. You got to send a self-addressed stamped envelope.
02134. Yeah.
But we should find out whether she needs radiation and stuff. Personally, for me, I would say don't do it.
Yeah.
Because at 82, my mother's had a ton of health problems, but she is a strong, strong woman. But anyway, I just want to put that out in the ether that she's doing much better, and hopefully things continue that way. But that's really all I got.
Yeah, I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Just remember, viewers like you make all those things possible.
You guys are the ones that make all of this possible, and we certainly appreciate it, especially you, Artie. Thank you guys for being here. And
thank you.
You want to tell them where they can find us?
Yep, you can find us on
Boston, Mass. 02134.
All, if not most, social media at BWAAAKOTH. That's 3 A's, AAA,
No waiting.
BWAAAKOTH. And we'd love it if you send us in an email.
Yep.
Send us a message on social media somewhere. Also, on the lookout for people to help with our social media. So if you are that person, go ahead and send in an email. Let me know.
Thanks, Artie.
And we could discuss what that would entail. At that time, it would just be generally helping me take the content we already have and to help get it to social media, like whatever that entails. I guess we'll discuss. But thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
You know what I found out this week?
What's that?
That there's footage of me falling at the skate park.
Yeah, we need
my
that.
back.
We got to get
Yeah.
that footage.
Yeah, it's
We got to
pretty
get that. That could be. We should use that footage
You just see me go straight
as our commercial breaks.
See me
Each
go
of our
straight
commercial
down.
breaks.
and then you hear me going, motherfucking, just like cussing.
cussing.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We love you all, and we will see you again next time right here on One last thing. Say it.
What did Nixon say? I can't remember.
He said, I'm not a crook.
Well, no, but he did like the peace thing. Is that
Yeah.
what he said? I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook, so we must tell you.
Wima Tanye.
Indeed.
Indeed.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.